Well, the Karnataka High Court has reversed the disproportionate assets case against former Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha. All charges against the AIADMK chief have been set aside in the 66 crore rupees case. As soon as the High Court pronounced its acquittal for Jayalalitha in Bengaluru, members of Parliament from Jaya's party celebrated the verdict on the floor of the House. Simultaneous celebrations were spread across the capital to Bengaluru and party headquarters in Chennai. According to sources, Jayalalitha could be sworn back as the Chief Minister of the state as early as the 17th of May. Meanwhile, Jayalalitha has released a statement claiming that it is a victory for justice and defeat for those who conspired to defame and malign her. DMK Supremo M. Karunanidhi, on the other hand, has also reacted to the verdict and has said that this is not the final one. He also made a snide remark at Jayalalitha, saying that there is a court above all courts and that is a court of the conscience.
The prosecution has been denied opportunity to put forward oral arguments in the entire appeals, while the counsel for appellant have been allowed to argue for 2 months. After I study the case and I take a decision whether it is a case for appeal or not, I must first share it with my government, the government which has appointed me. I must tell them what is my opinion in the matter in writing. Before doing that, it is not proper on my part to share my opinion with the media or any third party.
It's not a unusual thing for us because we have cases where we have won, we have cases which we have lost. So if this is lost, there is an appeal. She lost in the Sessions Court, she has gone on appeal and got herself thing. Now let's see what happens in further appeal. So I think when you are in a democratic situation, you have to accept these twists and turns in court cases. We have to study it to find out where the judge has relied on, because he has to give an argument. But certainly in view of what the Supreme Court had said, I think an appeal is very desirable, because we can't let this go at this stage.
There are options galore for Jayalalitha. Remember, the disqualification under the Representation of People's Act now stands cancelled for the AIADMK Supremo. Jayalalitha can become the Chief Minister once again, and Jayalalitha can lead the AIADMK as well in May 2016 Assembly elections. In fact, what people are expecting is that the resurgent Jayalalitha can even opt for snap polls. It's a setback for BJP's ambitions to gain grounds in Tamil Nadu. Remember, a vacuum would have been created because AIADMK is a personality-based monolithic party, and they were hoping that in case they run out of options, it will be a good time for the national parties to make their foray in the state. All right, let me now go across to editor South T.S. Sudhir, who joins us from Poise Garden. Also, we'll be joined by Pratibha Raman from outside the Karnataka High Court. Let me first go across to Sudhir for what's happening at Poise Garden now. A statement has come out from Jayalalitha's end. Are people still standing by outside Poise Garden to get a glimpse of her, perhaps hear her? Is she likely to speak at all, Sudhir?
Well, we don't know whether she will speak and address, but we are told that a few loudspeakers have gone inside the Poise Garden residence that you can see behind me. There are people, including media persons, including our colleague Shisha Reddy, who are inside Poise Garden waiting for her to make an appearance from the balcony and probably wave to the crowds, deliver a small Thanksgiving speech. Of course, a statement is already out in which she makes the pertinent point that, like gold, she has been tested for her purity, and also making the point that it was a political conspiracy against her by her rivals who could not defeat her politically. But what it really means for the state of Tamil Nadu is that, yes, as you mentioned, the political vacuum which parties like the BJP were hoping to capitalize on, that wouldn't really happen. The fight would still be between the AIADMK and the DMK, with the party of the rising sun. Karunanidhi's party would find itself on the weak foot right now. Karunanidhi's script has gone horribly wrong. He was hoping that a convicted Jayalalitha would really mean good news for the DMK. But now they will really have to redraw their political strategies all over again. As far as Paneerselvam, the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, is concerned, he left Jayalalitha's residence about an hour ago. He's likely to submit his resignation anytime now. That's just a formality. The party's legislature party body will meet and they will elect Jayalalitha as the next chief minister. On the sidelines, of course, as a part of Thanksgiving, there are about 100 AIADMK youth who are going to tonsure their heads at the MJR statue at around 4 o'clock this evening. So in a sense, the AIADMK really looking to celebrate this moment of triumph for their leader.
All right, let me go across to Pratibha Raman. Pratibha, I understand that the operational part of the judgment is out. Do we have the details?
Well, in fact, the judgment copy was just released on the website, and according to the judgment copy, in fact, the summary starts off with making a reference to Krishnanand Agnihotri's case, where the disproportionate assets to the extent of at least 10% sees the accused who are entitled for acquittal, and that is where the case actually starts and makes a relevance to this particular case, where Jayalalitha's disproportionate assets comes to about 8.2%. And apart from that, some of the observations made is the fact that there are a lot of discrepancies in the manner in which the trial court has not really analyzed or put into proper perspective the evidences that have been gathered. No proper reference that points out to the fact that Jayalalitha actually spent 3 crore rupees for the marriage of her adopted son. And that apart, even the witnesses at different stages had different accounts to narrate, and hence that cannot be taken as a proper evidence here. Keeping into account all these evidences as well as the materials put on record, the court is of the opinion that the trial court, whatever the trial court's findings are, is not sustainable in law.
All right, Sudhir, one very quick question to you about the possibility of snap polls, as is very evident from the kind of support that we can see for Jayalalitha today. People having gathered outside Poise Garden, also at the AIADMK headquarters. Is this an option that the party is mulling?
Well, that's an option that the party would definitely mull, according to the senior leaders who I have been speaking to. They point to actually 2 factors. One, the swell of support, the groundswell of support for Jayalalitha at the moment after her acquittal. Point number 2, the opposition is completely splintered, and as a result of which they would hope to gain from what happens in the index of opposition unity is pretty weak. And 3, as and when the 2G case comes, and that's meant to, that may probably bring in some bad news for the DMK, they would hope to cash in on that. So in that sense, there are some of these factors which the AIADMK leadership are talking about in favor of a snap poll sometime in the month of November, December, about 5 months ahead of schedule. So that is something the AIADMK cadre would be tempted to go in for, as opposed to going for regular polls in April, May, by when the summer would have set in, and this whole talk of Jayalalitha having been acquitted would be a thing of the past, at least 1 year old. So that's something which they will have to calculate, and according to intelligence reports, they will have to decide on whether to go in for snap polls or not.
All right, Sudhir and Pratibha, stay on with us. Let's quickly listen in to Prashant Bhushan, who was speaking on this issue.
ये तो न्याय से खिलवाड़ हुआ है, और मेरी राय में ये न्यायपालिका के लिए एक काला दिन है, और यही दर्शाता है कि इस देश में जो बड़े बड़े प्रभावशाली लोग हैं वो बरी हो जाते हैं, उनको बेल मिल जाती है, चाहे वो सलमान खान हो, चाहे जयललिता हो, चाहे माया कोडनानी हो, और जो बेकसूर लोग हैं वो बगैर किसी आरोप के, बगैर किसी चार्जशीट के अंडर ट्रायल जेलों में सड़ते रहते हैं.
All right, so Prashant Bhushan making his point there, saying that, or rather alleging that these big and famous people are usually acquitted in cases like this, and it's a matter of concern, is what he says. Many thanks to Pratibha and Sudhir for joining us with those details. In fact, on your television screens, you could see those scenes there of celebrations which broke out after that verdict was pronounced by the Karnataka High Court.